In this video, let's talk about 5 things you can start doing in order to improve your finances in the next few weeks. When it comes to our finances, the best things we can do right now and that we have control over is our spending. You see, when you're able to control your spending, you have control over what happens to your money. Majority of the time, we fail to analyze our expenses, and I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. So if you are new, please stick around. Now, one of the first things I want to say is when it comes to spending, you have to know where your money is going. That means you have to know what your money is spent on, the bills you're paying on a regular basis, the recurring bills that you don't even pay attention to, those subscriptions that you have subscribed for that is probably not really doing you any good needs to be cut off. Because when you get control and you regain total control of where your money goes, guess what? You start to see areas in which extra money can be made. And that is just by cutting out expenses that are unnecessary. Second thing that is important to keep in mind in this video is you need to know what you can reduce, what expenses you can reduce. So now we've cut out things that are unnecessary. We know where our money is going. We know what we don't need. But what about the things that we actually need? How can we reduce our expenses to the minimum? So for example, if you spend a lot of money eating out, then maybe you can look for a way to reduce the number of times you spend eating out. Maybe you need to do a grocery shopping for the week in which you won't have to think about eating out because you've done your grocery shopping for the week, you cook your meal for the week, and you stick to it. The other thing that you need to also keep in mind is even your necessary expenses, like maybe it's an insurance or maybe it's your phone bill. What about finding cheaper alternatives that will save you, whether it's $20, $30 here and there? Guess what? It all adds up. By the time you combine your efforts by the first one, which I already mentioned, reducing and cutting out unnecessary things, okay, those bills that you don't have to be paying for, you take them out. The next thing is now we reduce even what we are spending on those things that we consider necessities. And instead of, let's say, our rent being $1,500, we're able to reduce it to $1,200. Now, some of this may take some time to be able to do, but the point here is when you keep it in mind and you work towards it, you can make little changes over time. And in line with cutting back on those expenses, you can also look into getting discounts. Okay, there are times in which you can call your insurance and tell them maybe you work for a certain company, or maybe you have a degree, or you have an education, and they're able to work a discount out for you. Maybe you were serving in the military, or maybe you are in a situation where your company gives you some perks. Those perks may earn you some discounts with some of these insurance companies. So the point here is if you don't share it with them, they won't know it. So you need to be able to speak out and reach out to them and let them know what is going on, and maybe they'll be able to find you some discount here and there. The third thing that we can do is to find a way to make, even if it's just $1 or $10 or maybe $100 more than we are already making. It sometimes can be discouraged when you think about, oh, I'm only going to make $1 or I'm only going to make $20. Oh, it's nothing. Trust me, there's something in being able to make just a little bit more money than you would normally do. And that is where it is important not to discount those opportunities that can make you $1 more. Because if you take on that responsibility or that role, or you start aside also, that may only be paying you pennies or maybe $1. In that process, you may find another opportunity that pays you more. And this is why you shouldn't discount any opportunity that can put money in your pocket. You never turn it down. You go into it knowing that yes, it may not make you entirely wealthy, but what about the opportunities that may come along the way while you're doing that thing? That is something that you need to keep in mind. Now, the fourth thing that you now want to do is, you see that money that you're making now? So remember, we've cut back on expenses, we found discounts, we've now found a way to start making just a little bit more money, even if it's just $1. You see, that extra money plus all the things we've been able to cut out in our expenses and the savings along the way, we need to start putting it into some form of investment. Okay. And this is where investing comes in. Now, I want you to know that investing isn't something that is complicated. All you need to do is have some money, because you will need some money. Okay. And with that money, we would put that money into an investment account, whether it's a retirement account, whether it's a brokerage account, whether it's a savings account. Now, remember, when you're saving money, you're not really investing it. So don't let us mix that. But I want you to know that by you putting that money in a safe investment, you are able to let that money grow in a safe place. And over time, it would grow to become something more than what it was. And that is what you are trying to do, because your goal is not to work forever. I mean, nobody can work forever. At some point, your body will stop working, right? You won't be able to do the things you normally you did while you were younger. So you need to find an opportunity for your money to work for you. And that is where investments come in. Now, the last thing that I'm going to share with you, the fifth thing that would improve our finances, that would give you what you want over time, is patience. You see, once you've done all these things, it is very easy to start investing and feel like, oh, this is not working, or this is going to take forever. And that is true. Okay, that is true. It takes time. And that is where patience comes into it. Now, if you don't have the patience to go through that process and cut back on expenses and work a little bit more, just make $1 more and $2 more, whatever it takes to make just an extra money. If you don't have the patience to do that, you see, even if you find yourself an opportunity that will make you a lot of money, you won't still have enough patience, because you would still want more money. And along the line, you will lose it all. That is what happens when you don't have patience, because you always go looking for that shiny object, something that will make you a lot of money. And hey, to each his own, like they say. But the point here is, along the way, we all need to be patient for some of these financial things to work, like compound interest, okay, like your investments to grow, such as the companies that you invest in, giving them the opportunity to grow. Those require that you're patient and, of course, consistently investing. Now, if you have found value in this video, please check out this next video. I'm sure you would find value in it as well.